Revelation about the synagogue of Satan. This revelation was given between August the 9th and September the 12th, 2021. Who are the people who say they are Jewish but are not? It was in late autumn 2017 when God said the first time to me, "Pray for these people. They are in danger." I didn't understand because I thought they are protected by Him because they are His people. Later, God showed me that they are reading, studying, and teaching Talmud, which is not from Him. Then He showed me about the Noahide Laws, which are not biblical, but from the Babylonian Talmud. I always thought they are people who fear God. How can I practice such things, which are not His? But God showed me more and more. He also said, "Esther, you have said they are my people. I tell you they are not my people, and why? Repent." I was shocked, but repented and asked God what is wrong and to show me truth. I asked Him to remove my old insides and replace them for His, even when I wouldn't like it. On August the 9th, God led me to the first book of Chronicles, and He showed me why these people are not His. He continued, giving me small pieces because I didn't understand, and He told me to write it down. While reading it, things started to come together. This message will not please most people. Although there are many Bible verses about this, a lot of people do still believe the lies of the enemy, and they still love his wickedness. But the truth about the people who say they are Jewish but are not is literally in the Bible. This message will cause further separation between those on the narrow path and those who are not. Many will dismiss the Bible because they fear man more than God. I ask you to seek God with a sincere heart about this revelation. Do not fix your eyes on the enemy, but on Him who brings all things in darkness into the light. Pray about the Bible verses He gave, for it is the sword of the Spirit. The enemy will try everything to silence truth. Nothing is what it seems like, but God will speak the last word. There is a group of people who say they are Jewish but are not. They are lying. They claim to be the Israelites, but the Bible shows us they are Gentiles. Jesus said, "I know the blasphemy of those who are saying they are Jews and are not, but a synagogue of Satan." It is in Revelation 2, verse 9. This group of people is known as Ashkenazi Jews. Many of them belong to the synagogue of Satan. They will have many excuses, but these are not biblical. They are using human DNA research, endless genealogies, and their Babylonian Talmud to refute what is written in God's Word. But we can recognize them by their fruit easily. They are no descendants of Shem, but from his brother Japhet. In these last days they remain on DNA research, which is not biblical. And, as it is written, they give heed to endless genealogies about who is a Jew and who is not. The Bible warned against that. Read 1 Timothy 1 verse 3 and 4 and Titus 3 verse 9 to see we should not depend on human genealogy. Let's have a short look to biblical genealogy. It is the family tree of Noah, which is not complicated but simple and clear. It is in the first book of Chronicles and then in chapter 1 and 2. And just let's see if I can share a bit. I wrote it down. Just try. Will it work? Yes. Okay, so this is Noah, and his 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japhet. Okay, they all had sons. Didn't mention the sons of Ham now, because it's not really necessary now to talk about that. Let's have a look to Japhet. One of his sons is Gomer, and one of the sons of Gomer is Ashkenaz. Okay. So, and this is Shem. These are the sons of Shem. And look to the descendants from Arphaxad down to Abraham. And here is the family tree of Abraham. Okay, and here are the 12 tribes of Israel. So, okay, we can see clearly that Ashkenaz is not from the house Israel. There are no Israelites. They are not from Abraham. Okay. The descendants from Ham and Japhet are the Gentiles. That is what the Bible is telling us well. So let's put it back. All right. And we can also recognize these people by their fruit. Let's have a look at that. The Ashkenazi Jews are descendants of Japhet, and they moved to the north. They settled between the Caspian Sea and the Black Sea, and this area is known as Ukraine. 740 years after the crucifixion, they converted to Judaism. They learned Hebrew and they started studying Torah. But they mixed it with the oral laws which are taught in Talmud, and they mixed it with the satanic rituals from Kabbalah. They mixed God's word with the oral laws which are not from God. None of the prophets in the Old Testament spoke about this. They did not prophesy about another scripture with oral laws. No, they prophesied about God's new covenant. They prophesied God will write his laws on a new circumcised heart. The Ashkenazim also worship Baal and Moloch. That is why they got banned by the Russian leader. They fled from Ukraine to Hungary, Poland, Germany, France, and Spain. Everywhere they went, they left people behind, and the people in these foreign countries accepted them as Ashkenazi Jews, for they spoke Hebrew and they seemed very religious. But these people are not the Israelites. They are Gentiles. But there is more in the Word of God about how to know if someone is a Jew or not. Paul said, "For he is not a Jew who is one outwardly, nor is the circumcision that which is an outward, in the flesh, but he is a Jew who is one inwardly, and circumcision is that of the heart, in the spirit, not in the letter, whose praise is not from man, but from God." Romans 2:28-29. The Ashkenazim are Jews outwardly, so they are not. These religious spirits love to pray in public, so people will see their holiness. I speak about religious spirits because it is not the flesh we fight against. Don't forget that. It is a religious spirit. And they love to pray in public. That's what they did because Jesus spoke about it, and we can still see that. Just have a look on one of the big airports. You know what I mean. Jerusalem is also full of Gentiles. After the state Israel was founded by the worldly leaders, they told the Jews to go home. The Ashkenazim are Zionists as well, and many of them went to Israel. But there are more Gentiles in Jerusalem. It is not only the Ashkenazim. There are many people from the religion Christianity, belonging to many denominations. There are Muslims. There are a lot of people in Jerusalem who are not born again yet and who have an uncircumcised heart. And Yeshua, Jesus, foretold this a long time ago. He said, "And Jerusalem will be trampled by Gentiles until the time of the Gentiles are fulfilled." This is in Luke 21:24. The Ashkenazim live with many thousands in Jerusalem, but also in the rest of Israel and the rest of the world. Many among them claim to be from the tribe of Levi. How can they know? Again, the Bible is clear about human genealogy. They cannot know from which tribe they are. It is Yeshua, the Messiah, who will reveal that. God said, "I will gather my people from among all nations." When God said this, He spoke about end times, which are now. God is gathering His people now, and He does not work in the flesh but in the Spirit, just like Paul said. God is seeking those who are ready to be circumcised by His Spirit. He will continue to show people the only one who can do this, Yeshua, Jesus. Israel and Judah are not reunited yet. Most from the house of Judah have not recognized their Messiah yet. Many from the house of Israel do not even know they are Israel. These sheep from both flocks will hear the voice of the shepherd. It will happen at Yom Kippur, Day of Atonement, when Yeshua comes back. And they will be saved, and they will celebrate Sukkot together. God has already called a small remnant from Judah and Israel. But they did not return to the state Israel, which was founded by the leaders of this world. No, they have come home. They have come back to God through the only way God made, Yeshua, Jesus. This is what God has spoken for the end times. So, how can the Ashkenazim say for all these centuries, "We are the Israelites, we are God's people"? Because they have been taught so. They have inherited nothing but lies from their ancestors. And they will come to God and complain. This is also written in God's word. "The Gentiles shall come to you from the ends of the world and say, 'Surely our fathers have inherited lies, wordlessness, and unprofitable things.'" Jeremiah 16, verse 19. The Ashkenazim also started the organization Chabad. They study Talmud and practice the occult Kabbalah in public. They read, study, and teach Zohar, the book of Kabbalah, to get wisdom from above. Kabbalah is occult. It's witchcraft and magic they are practicing. God is the only one who can give His knowledge and wisdom from above. He always does this through His Spirit. Trying to get knowledge and wisdom from God through any other way is witchcraft. Again, we can recognize them by their fruit. The members of Chabad do also worship one of their dead rabbis, who was once a leader of their cult. This is necromancy. God forbid it. The rabbis of Chabad also came up with the Noahide Laws, which have their roots in the Babylonian Talmud. They seem biblical, but are not. I explained why these laws are not biblical in one of my videos. It is still on YouTube, for the time being. We all know the devil is a master in making things look like they're from God. The Noahide Laws is just one of many examples. But the rabbis from Chabad are teaching these slavery laws worldwide for years. The Ashkenazim, who are Gentiles, are telling people the Noahide laws are God's laws for non-Jews. How wicked. So Satan twisted God's truth again for many centuries. The Ashkenazim, who founded the organization Chabad, are the synagogue of Satan. The Bible is clear. These people do not descend from Shem, so they can't be the Israelites. And this is exactly what Yeshua, Jesus, spoke about. He knew this would happen. So they are Gentiles who converted to Judaism, and they mixed it with the occult Babylonian stuff like Talmud and Kabbalah. They learned Hebrew and studied the feasts of God. But they got banned from Ukraine because of their Baal and Moloch worship. But after they got banned, they went on lying and twisting God's truth. Generation after generation embraced these lies. These lying spirits have twisted everything God has ordained. Again, it are the spirits which are lying. Do not judge the people, it are the spirits. These lies covered their true origins for centuries. But God is good, and He shines His light upon the things in the darkness. Through His Spirit, He shows us how to recognize them by their fruit. These people are not His people. God Himself is gathering His people right now. The true sheep from the house Israel and the house Judah will come back to Him. There is a last way to recognize the Ashkenazim are Gentiles. God said the true Israelites would be blind and deaf for the message of the true Messiah. As the Ashkenazim are Gentiles, they are able to hear and see, because it is written that God would close the eyes and ears from the Israelites for their disobedience. So they know who Yeshua, Jesus, is. They know He will refute their books, which come from the human mind and not from God. They know He will refute the Noahide laws because these laws are slavery laws. They know He will never bring in laws which bind people in spiritual prison. It is their false Messiah they are longing for, who will make these laws mandatory, because one of the laws forbids to preach Yeshua, Jesus. They know they must transfer power to Yeshua as soon as he gets involved. The Ashkenazim know very well Yeshua, Jesus, will destroy all of their occult books and rituals. He will burn it with the fire of His breath. They know they will lose everything, including their claim that they are the Israelites. And that is why they call Him a clown. That is why they reject him. It is the spirit of the Antichrist that rejects Yeshua. It is that evil spirit that causes them fear. For this evil spirit knows it will lose the souls of these people as soon as Yeshua comes in. But no matter their lies, Yeshua, Jesus, will speak through the small remnant of Israel and Judah, which has already been gathered by God. He has trained them, and he knows this remnant is not afraid to speak truth. Nothing will cause them fear, because their eyes are fixed on him. Despite all these things, Yeshua, Jesus, spoke a message of salvation for them. This is beautiful, because he knows in which danger these people are. Jesus gave the message when he spoke to his true church. And he said, I will cause those of the synagogue of Satan, who say they are Jewish and are not, but lie, I will cause them to come and to acknowledge that I have loved you. It is in Revelation 3, verse 9. Yeshua, Jesus, knew the plans of Satan, and he knew as well that God would uncover them. The message Yeshua gave to the Gentiles, who are the synagogue of Satan, is a message of salvation for them. He makes clear he is willing to forgive them when they come to him, for he loves Jew and Gentile.